So we will continue with the cryptography concepts. So we were on this one. So let's revise first. So first is plain text, which is the plain text. And then we have cipher text, which is the encrypted form of plain text. Then we have cryptographic key, which is like in cryptography, keys are crucial components used to encrypt and decrypt the data. Encryption is the process of converting a readable form, which is plain text, into unreadable form, which is cipher text. And decryption is like the reverse process. So in the cryptography for encryption or for decryption, we need a key. So key can be anything. It can be a keyboard also, as we had discussed in the above methods, or it can be any key also. Okay. Then you have key space. So key space is like the the combination of numbers in your key. That is, or we can also say that key length is equal to key space. So let's say, for example, a key length of 1 to 8 bits means the key space includes all possible combination of 1 to 8 bits, which means you have, let's say, for the first combination, for the first letter, sorry, for the first place, we have 0 and 1. Okay, either it can be 0 or it can be 1. So we have two possibilities for each and every character in the key. So it will be uh, so it will be 2 power of 1 to 8. Okay, which is 2 power of 1 to 8. So it means 2 into 2 into 2 up to 1 to 8. So this can be the length of your key. And the larger your key, the longer your key, it like the harder it's take for an attacker to crack your key or to crack your encryption form. Okay, that is your key. Let's say you have a 512-bit key. Sorry, I don't have my pad. That's fine. So 512-bit key means 2 key power 512, which is 512. Okay. So means 2 into 2 up to 512. So this is your length of your key. Okay. Then we have protection of key. So it is very important to protect your key. Instead of protecting your method, we can protect the key. For example, in the modern cryptography, we can just protect the key. We cannot protect the method because methods are known by everyone. Like how the key is working, that is fine. Everyone knows how the key is working, how this algorithm is working. For example, let's say you are using DES algorithm for encryption. So now the attacker or any security professionals know that how this particular algorithm works. That is fine. You cannot protect the algorithm working, or you cannot protect the working of any algorithm or working of any key, uh, like in the modern cryptography. But yeah, you can protect your key itself. That is important in the modern cryptography. But previously, in the historical cryptography, we have to hide the method as well as the key. Both are very important because let's say if your if that attacker knows the substitution method cipher, like how this basically work, or your attacker knows the Caesar cipher, like the method, then he or she can easily find the key, or he or she can easily decrypt the encryption form of a password or anything. So that is this is in the historical cryptography, where in the history, like we have to protect the algorithm as well as like the process as well as the key. But in the modern cryptography, we cannot like hide the method, so we can only hide the key, which is also important. Like it is not it is no use of hiding the method or algorithm. Okay, because how the algorithm works. Algorithm is just the combination of some steps, including the mathematics calculation. Yeah, like a mathematical calculation. Okay, and algorithms are irreversible. Like you cannot reverse the key or you cannot reverse the algorithm. That is the power of algorithms. Okay, so you can crack the keys on the basis of the rainbow table, which is the hash table, which is also known as collision, that we will discuss later. Okay. So protection of key is important rather than protection of your algorithm or the method of the key. So this is why maintaining the secrecy of a key is paramount to the security of the entire system. Then we have key length and security. So longer keys generally make cryptographic systems more secure. A longer key length means a larger key space. Okay, so length is equal to key space. Key space is like the number of combination of characters are including in your key. Okay, or we can say number of combination of characters. For example, that is, let's say you have 1 to 8 bits key, so it is like 1 power of 1 to 8, like this. Okay, so that is the key length or key space. So here, longer keys generally makes cryptographic systems more secure. A longer key means a larger space, which makes it computationally infeasible for attackers to try all possible keys, a brute force attack in a reasonable amount of time. So it is obvious, like if you have a larger key, so you need higher computational power for cracking the key, right? Even if you have a longer key, so you also need sometimes quantum computers for cracking the key. Okay. But yeah, it is not impossible for the attacker to crack the key. It is possible. It is possible to play the brute force attack. It is possible to find the password, right password. But yeah, you can just use the right algorithm. You can use the right key space to protect at best. Okay. Then we have security through keys. So the strength of cryptographic systems depends not on keeping the algorithm secret, as in the Kirchhoff principle, but on keeping the key secret. That is, we have discussed. The algorithm can be known and studied by experts without compromising security as long as the keys remains private. So we can study the algorithm. We can study how this basic algorithm is working, like how many rounds are there, how many bits are there, how many bits are rotating, and etc. Or we can study that, but we cannot. But you have to keep your keys private. Okay, so it is like same like you can reveal the method, but you cannot reveal the key. Then we have key management. So managing cryptographic keys involve first generating, then storing, and then distribution, and then revoking keys in a secure manner. So these first steps we have to take while managing the key. Let's say you are using any system symmetric algorithm or symmetric encryption. So in the symmetric encryption, you need a one key for encryption also and for decryption also. Let's say you generate that key, but what about storing? Let's say you securely store the key. So what about distribution? So you have to distribute the key secretly, because that key is used for encryption, and the same key is used for encryption and decryption, right? So that is why you have to protect the key, and then revoking the keys in a secure manner, which is like regenerating the keys. So organizations need proper key management practice to ensure that keys are appropriately protected throughout their life cycle. So in summary, cryptographic keys are essential for secure communication and data protection. The key space, which is determined by the key length, represents all possible key values. Okay, that is, if your key length is 1 to 8 bits, so what is the like possible number of combination is 2 key power 1 to 8 kind of. Okay. The secrecy of key is vital for the security of encrypted data, and key management plays a significant role in maintaining the security. Okay, and this we have already discussed, which is what is crypto variables, what is cryptography, what is crypto analysis, what is crypto system and cryptology. So this we have already discussed. Then we have the Kirchhoff principle. So it is a kind of rule which says that you should hide your method as well as you have to hide your key. You have to hide both the key and the method. This is because of this historical ciphers, cryptography. So in this historical cryptography, we need to hide the method as well as we need to hide the key. Okay, but in the modern cipher, modern cryptography, we don't need to hide the method or the algorithm we are using or the working of the algorithm. So this is all about Kirchhoff principle. So, like a rule that says when you create a secret code system, the way you make the code should be open and known to everyone, except for the key used to decode it. This means even if someone knows how the code works, they shouldn't be able to easily figure out the key and decode the message. It is bit saying the way you lock the door should be public, but the key should be secret. So this principle makes sure that the security of the code doesn't rely on keeping the way it works like hidden. So this principle ensures that whatever the method is, irrespective of the method or the algorithm, we should like secure the key. So the algorithm works in that way, like if the algorithm is known by everyone, every attacker, but the attacker still doesn't able to decrypt or find the key. Okay, so this is the question of principle. So this is all about like hiding the key and disclosing the algorithm. Or there's no issue of disclosing the algorithm or disclosing the method you are using for the encryption and decryption. Okay, that is Kirchhoff's principle. Then we have ciphers. So what are ciphers? Ciphers are the algorithms used to perform encryption and decryption operations that are known as cipher. Cipher suites are the sets of ciphers and key length supported by a system. Okay. So we have two types of cipher. We have block ciphers and we have stream ciphers. Modern ciphers fit into two major categories, block and stream. So here, cipher are kind of algorithm. And we have two kinds of algorithm, which is block ciphers and stream cipher. Like the set of ciphers, or we can say the combination of ciphers and key length, which is supported by any system that are known as cipher suites. So we have two types of ciphers. First one, we have block ciphers. So block ciphers operate on chunk or blocks. Like you have a, let's say you have a letter. So you are, or you have a word. Let's say this one. So this transposition cipher is the example of block cipher because let's say you have this whole statement, moon beams are nice, right? So now you are dividing your that statement in blocks. Moon beam are nice, and then you are encrypting your that blocks. Okay, like you're converting your blocks into cipher text. So this is known as block ciphers. So these are known as block ciphers, and transposition is the example of block cipher, where you are like operating the whole statement or whole the plain text into blocks. You are dividing into blocks, and then you are encrypting one by one. Okay, means you are using the same algorithm in each and every block. So let's say you are using a DES algorithm. Let's say, okay, just an example. So you are using the DES algorithm in each and every block. First this block, then this block, and then this block, and then fourth block individually. Okay, you are not applying the whole algorithm on four blocks. You're just applying one by one, like each algorithm one by. Okay. But yeah, you have to apply the same algorithm on four blocks. That is known as block ciphers. So the transposition is the example of block cipher. Okay. Then we have stream ciphers. So stream ciphers operate on one character or a bit of message. It is like converting your message one by one. Or let's say you have a whole letter, let's say apple. Now you want to convert or you want to encrypt this apple. So now you are, instead of using the block, you are converting the each letter one by one. And the example is Caesar cipher. Which one is this? Poly alphabetic is also the example, and substitution cipher is also the example, and Caesar cipher is also the example. Or rotate 13 is also the example. Why? Because in the Caesar cipher, let's say you have the combination of A, B, C, D, E. Or let's say you have a rotate 13 cipher. So let's say you have a word apple. So now you are taking this apple, A letter, and then you are putting, you are rotating in every letter 13 places. So now A becomes N and B becomes O, like this. This is, you are taking character by character, you are taking each and every letter of your plain text and converting into that cipher text. That is stream cipher, where you are converting each and every letter one by one. Okay. Polyalphabetic is also the example where you have a this long table kind of. Okay, and here you are using, let's say we have a word apple and we have a keyword mango, right? And you are converting A with M like that. And then you have a one like you, let's say you have a which is in the rows, and then we have M which is in the columns. Okay. And then we have M, and here you can put M. Okay. So M is on that. M is a cipher test of your A apple, right? And then you take P, then you take P, then you take L and E, which is apple, right? So here you are taking letter by letter or character by character. That is known as stream cipher. So Caesar cipher, polyalphabetic, or substitution cipher are the example of Caesar cipher, stream cipher. We have one more example, which is one-time pad cipher. So let me show an example because I don't have my pad, so I cannot draw. You can search one-time pad cipher. Okay. And here you can see the image. So this one is one-time pad cipher, where you have the combination of alphabets. And then here you have these numbers. Okay. So let's say you have a enigma. Okay. Enigma is your, let's say, word here, your plain text. So E is 4 here, and then N is 13 here, like that. And your keyword is keyword. Keyword. Okay. Then you are taking plain text, and your keyword is keyword. And let's say E. In place of E, you have 4. And in place of K, you have 10. Right. So you are converting using this method. Let me show you the more appropriate image of this one. Yeah. This one is fine. So let's say you have a word plain test. Okay, like you have this ABCD, you have this test here. Okay. And here you have 19 on T. You have E on 4, like this. So this one is a plain test. This one is a keyword. Let's say FVEV is a keyword. So now you are taking 5 in place of F in place of 5, which one is here. And now you are adding these words like 19 plus 5, 24. So whatever in the place of 24, you can put here, which is Y. Okay, like this. So Y is your first cipher letter. Then we have 4, 21 plus 4, 25, we have Z, like it. You can also use subtraction here. Okay, or you can use plus here. So this is an example of one-time pad. Okay. So one-time pad is also the example of stream cipher. Okay. Then we have modern cryptography and key secrecy. So in old days of secret codes, people thought keeping the code self-secret was the way to keep the message safe, which is like the key and the method. But now modern secret codes rely on something different, which is secret keys. These keys are like super secret passwords that only the sender and receiver knows. So that is your key. And why we are using, and why this key, we only need to secure the key. Because in the historical cryptography, we need to secure the method as well as the key. But in the modern cryptography, we need to only secure the key, not the method. Because we are using the algorithm here. Algorithm here, which is like the process is like algorithm is a step-by-step process. Or we can say the algorithm is just a set of steps which is created via mathematical calculations, and these algorithms are irreversible. The algorithms which you use in the cryptography are irreversible. So that is why if you know the working of any algorithm, then still you cannot reverse the key because that is irreversible, right? So that is why modern cryptography is like where you cannot. It is not important to hide the method. Okay. So yeah, algorithm transparency. So in the past, the details of secret code methods were kept hidden, but now most methods are openly now. No, this might sound strange, but it actually makes the code stronger. Why? See, because when everyone knows how the code works, lots of smart people can look for weaknesses and fix them. That is also the case. Let's say you are the coder, okay, of any algorithm, or you are any algorithm engineer. So now you know how this particular DES algorithm work. Then you can just use that DES algorithm. You can find the vulnerabilities, and that if that algorithm is vulnerable, then you can fix that, right? So this is also the plus point in the modern cryptography. If everyone knows the working, so anyone smart can put or find any vulnerabilities and then fix them. Okay, which makes your algorithm more powerful. That is why we have the different versions of like algorithm. We have DES, we have DES 3, okay, which is triple DES. Then we have AES, which is like we have AES and we have SHA-1, SHA-2. That is why we have these different versions. Because of these smart peoples, because they find the vulnerabilities in one version and they update the algorithm and they move to next version. Okay. Then we have secret keys. So instead of hiding the method, modern secret codes hide the keys, which is the method itself can be public, but the keys are like you can read this because we have discussed this one. Now, key length matters, which is we have already discussed. Longer the key, stronger the computational power you need to crack the key. And every like one don't have the access of the high computational power. Okay. So then we have outpacing adversaries, which is like script analyst who try to break codes have powerful computers too. So you need to use longer keys. They that is stay ahead of their abilities. So this way, your message stay safe even as technology advance. So always choose the like the long key because the crypt analysts use their abilities to crack your key because they also have the high computation powers. Like we have two types of options. First, the person who have high computational powers, and second, the person who doesn't have. Right. So we have to prepare for both. We don't need to worry about the person who don't have, but yeah, we have to worry about the person who have. Okay, then for that you can choose your longer keys. Quantum computing, which is like there's a feature tag called quantum computing, which is like a high computation power. You can also use it for free because Google provides some like sample test in the for this quantum computing because only Google have this quantum computers. Or I think we have only few quantum computers all over the world. So that could change things. So they are like very high powerful computers which can crack your key in just seconds. So it might make some codes insecure. So codes needs to be ready for new challenges. So this is key length and security. Back in the days of short key. That is we have already discussed. Okay, like the longer key, the means that stronger protection, which is like a 1 to 8 bit keys minimum nowadays. Okay, which is like 512 you can take 1024 keys like this bit keys. Okay. So then we have symmetric key algorithm and then we have asymmetric key algorithm. So as you know about symmetric, in the symmetric, the sender and the receiver both uses the same key for encryption and for decryption. That's it. Okay. So let's discuss the efficiency and the weakness. Symmetric key algorithms are like secret codes that uses a single shared key for encryption and decryption. It's like having a secret language that only you and your friend know. And you use the same rules to both write and read messages. So shared secret key. So you and your friend both have a copy of that secret key. This use for you can use for encryption and you can use your friend use for decryption. Okay. Then we have fast and efficient nodes. Symmetric encryption is faster than asymmetric encryption because we are using the same key. Okay. So in terms of efficiency and in terms of fast, you can use this symmetric algorithm. Okay. But it is not that much secure because the sender and the receiver both are using the same key. Okay, so that is the downside or that is the weakness of that. Symmetric encryption is super fast. It can encrypt and decrypt messages thousands of times faster than some other methods, which is asymmetric algorithm. This speed is why it is used for big tasks like securing a lot of data. We mostly use symmetric in the databases and some servers also. Okay. Then we have weaknesses because we are using the same key. That is the weakness. Because let's say you have a big group of people, and that big group of people, they all have the same key, right? And if any of that people or any of that individual left that group, so you have to replay the entire key. Because if that individual left the organization or your group, then he might access to your encrypted data because he have the same key, right? So in that case, if anyone, any individual left your group or anything, then you have to replace the entire group key because the key is same, but you have to replace everything. Okay. So that is weakness here, and even we don't have any secure way of transferring the key itself. Let's say you have the key in first place, you generate the key. Okay. Then let's say I am the receiver, you are the sender. Now you have to send the key first. Then you have to send the message because how can I decrypt the message without the key? So in that case, first you have to transfer the key itself. So for that, you need another secure channel. Like you can use VPN or any other channel. Okay, that is disadvantage for using this symmetry because the transmission is the problem. Let's say there's a hacker sitting in the middle who is like waiting for that key exchange, and he or she can fetch or just steal your key. Okay, so this is another weakness. So it can be risky. And second is if you have a big groups, then there are like too many people, it's hard to manage all the keys. No proof of origin. Another issue is non-repudiation. You cannot ensure non-repudiation here. Non-repudiation is the ensuring that the receiver really, sorry, the sender really sends the message. So you cannot perform the digital signatures or non-repudiation with the help of symmetric. Digital signatures can only be ensured using asymmetric key algorithms. Okay, this is very important. This can be come in the exam. You can just remember that digital signatures can only be performed using asymmetric key algorithm. Okay. Or we can say non-repudiation can be ensured using this asymmetric key algorithm. You cannot ensure non-repudiation using the symmetric because let's say you have 5 users in your group. Now they all have the same key, so you really don't know who's the actual sender, right? So really don't have the proof of origin. Okay, who really sends the message because all 5 users have the same key. Okay, because and if that key is is in the hand of attacker, then you really don't know that is it that the legit message or not because you don't have proof of origin. Okay, then he is generating the keys. If someone leaves the group, that is we have discussed, you have to change the shared key, and then you have to again share the key. Like you have to regenerate the key, right? You revoke the key, and then you have to share it again to every user of your group if any individual left the group because you all are using the same key. Then strength, speed. This is the benefit of using the symmetric algorithm because here we have the strength. Now, speed is the best thing about symmetric encryption is it's speed. It's super fast, and that's why it used for big jobs where speed is important. So it's depend on your nature of the organization size and what kind of like for what purpose you are using the encryption. Okay. So symmetric encryption is like a secret language that is we have discussed. Okay. Then we have asymmetric key algorithm. So it is like where we have 2 keys, private key and public key with each and every individual in the group. Okay. Like we have the secret key and we have we have the public key and private key. Let's say you are the sender, I am the receiver. Now you are sending me the message. So you will encrypt that message using my public key because public key is public to everyone. Everyone can see my public key. Now, when your message reaches, I will decrypt the same message using my own private key. That is known as encryption, sorry, asymmetric key algorithm. which is also known as public key algorithm, are like having a lock and a key pair. Imagine you have a special lock that only you can open with your unique key, but anyone can use the lock to send you something, and only you can unlock it. Okay, that is like a private and public scenario. So how it actually works? So we have two keys. First, we have public key, and then we have private key. Okay, a public key can be shared with anyone, and private key is kept super secret. Okay. So encrypt and decryption. So if sender wants to send me the message or to the receiver, so the sender lock or encrypt the message with the receiver's public key, and the receiver can only decrypt the message with its own private key. So there's no issue of sharing the key here. Okay, so this is the benefit. There's no scenario of sharing the same key because everyone have their own key, pair of key, like private and public. Like public can be accessed by anyone and private is super secret. Then you can ensure digital signatures with that. Asymmetric key algorithm also helps with digital signatures. Let's say you want to prove that a message is really from you. So you can create a special signature using a private key. Okay. And others can verify the signature using a public key. And they will know it's really from you. That we will discuss in detail how this actually works. Okay, and we will see, if you want, we can also do a practical of it. Okay, basically practical is not important, and we will do practical in the CEH of this digital signature, like how we can share the mail using digital signatures. Then we will do practical, and practical is not important for the commercial exam. Then we have strength. So asymmetric keys are great for security. That is, they also ensure the integrity, authentication, non-reputation. They are scalable too. And even if you have a many people, each person only needs their own key pair. Okay. Now, key generation, making a key pair is a bit more complicated than with symmetric key. Okay, and once you have, you are like good to go. And if anyone left your groups, there's no need of regenerating the key because everyone has their own public and private key. So it's all about to just like starting initial process is like complicated and rest is well working flow. Then we have key distribution. Sharing a public key is easy, but you have to keep your private key super secure. Now here's a speed issue. This is the weakness. The one side downside is that these algorithms can be slow. There's no grid for encryption, lots of data capable. So this is speed issue. There's a speed issue in that case. So you should know the weakness, you should know the benefit, like advantages and disadvantages of the asymmetric key and symmetric key, because they may come in the exam. Now, how we can overcome this problem? So we can use combo with symmetry. Like we can use asymmetric algorithm, but we can combo with the symmetric algorithm. How? So to solve the speed issue, people often use asymmetric key to exchange a secret key of symmetric encryption. Means you are using, let's say you are the sender and I am the receiver. Basically, we are using the symmetric encryption. Okay, means we are using the same key for encryption and decryption. But let's say you are sharing me a message, let's say hi. Now you are sharing hi and you have encrypted that key, that message with the key, with a symmetric key. Now I have to decrypt the hi message with the same symmetric key because we are using symmetric encryption. Now there's a catch here, which is the transmission of key. Now you have to transfer the key, that is symmetric key, then only I can decrypt. So for that, we will use asymmetric keys for exchanging the symmetric keys. Okay. So what I can do now, which is my symmetric key. Now I can use the asymmetric algorithm to to encrypt my symmetric key with the receiver public key, and the receiver at there, he or she will use that private key for decrypting the symmetric key, and then the receiver use that symmetric key for decrypting the real message. That is like the combination of symmetric and asymmetric algorithm. So this way you can also ensure the speed, and you can also ensure the security. Speed with the symmetric and security with the asymmetric. Is it clear? This one combo with symmetric.
Yeah, this one clear, ma'am. But this is a one-way communication only, right? If suppose that you told, right, that say I'm sending data, okay, I'm encrypting with the public key, okay, you are decrypting with private key,
Private key.
correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Then if you are sending data means how I can read that one, that data?
Which data? The real message or the key?
Yeah, real messages. See, there are two
The real
keys, one
message.
public. Yeah.
Basically, we are using the asymmetric for decrypt, sorry, for encrypting the that key for the real message. Okay. Let
Okay.
me show you. So we are using first, let's say I am sending hi. Okay. Means we have the sender. So sender is sending hi. Now sender is first encrypting this hi using the symmetric key. Okay. Which means the same key. Okay. Now I have to also like access the same key for decrypting this real hi message. So this is the real message. Okay. This hi is the real message. So I will use symmetric here. Then I am the receiver, let's say. So the receiver now use this same key, which is symmetric algorithm, to decrypt this high message. Okay. So for this, the receiver needs this key also. Now, if you transmit this key via any channel, so there's a thread here because this is the real key for encryption also and for decryption also. Right. So what here we are doing now? This symmetric key. Let's say this is a key. Now I am again encrypting the symmetric key with the asymmetric algorithm. Okay. And I am using the receiver public key here, which is receiver public key. Right. Then at receiver side. So first, now this asymmetric key. Now this is another asymmetric key here. So like, sorry, asymmetric algorithm. So in this asymmetric algorithm, we have, and now this is a encrypted data. In this encrypted data, we have this symmetric key. Now, first you will share this symmetric key to me using asymmetric algorithm. Means you are sharing the same key for encryption and for decrypting the same message. Hi. So now at receiver side, first I will use this asymmetric here, and I will use my private key. The receiver uses its private key for decrypting the key, which is symmetric key. And why we are decrypting? For again decrypting the real message. Okay, and once I decrypt this symmetric key, then you can share me the high message. Then I will use that key for decrypting this high. Let's say the cipher test is anything. Edge this one. Let's say this one is the cipher test. Now this is received by the receiver, which is JHK, and I will use that symmetric key which I decrypted using my own private key because I am using the asymmetric algorithm and I am decrypting this high message. So this is the process. So this is the combination of like asymmetric and symmetric algorithm here.
Okay,
Now is
this
it
one
clear?
clear. Yeah, yeah, clear. This clear.
Okay. And this is like two-way. Now if receiver wants to send any message to sender, so he will reverse the process. He or she will first use this symmetric key for first he will he or she the receiver will he or she will use that symmetric key, and he or she will encrypt this symmetric key using the receivers or the senders receivers public key, and the receiver again then decrypt the symmetric key with its own private key, and then use that same key he or she will decrypt the real message. Okay, so here we are ensuring the speed, and here we are ensuring the security. Okay, so speed with this symmetric and security with this asymmetric, and this is obvious. Like For the transmission, we are ensuring the security using asymmetric. Okay. And for decrypting the large data, we are using the symmetric encryption. Okay. So here we can use the combination of symmetric and asymmetric. Okay. Again, the initial process is hard because for that you need to generate 3 keys now. The same key, symmetric keys. Second, the asymmetric keys, which is private key and public key. So here you have to generate 3 keys. Okay. So in short, asymmetric key algorithm uses a pair of keys, one for locking and the other for unlocking. Now this is the difference in the symmetric and asymmetric. First, single shared key, which is like same key for encryption and decryption, and then key pair set for one for encryption and another for decryption. Uh, Public key for encryption and private key for decryption. Out of band exchange, like you have to share using any other method. Okay, because that method which you are using, like which you are usually used for transmission, can be dangerous. So you can use any other method for exchanging. In band, like you can use the same channel for exchanging the key because there's no thread. Okay, sorry, that message you can exchange message, not scalable and scalable. Okay, why this is scalable means, for example, it is all about that generation of keys. Okay, let me show you this one. So let's say you have two participants. Let's say you have two participants, sender and receiver. Okay, so this is number of participants, and this is number of symmetric key you need. So you need 2 keys. Sorry, 1 key in the symmetric, and in the asymmetric you need 2 keys. Okay. Now, for let's say you have 3 participants. So for the symmetric, you need 3 keys, and for the asymmetric, you need 6 keys. And when this number of participants keeps on increasing, you have to increase the symmetric keys as compared to the asymmetric key. For example, basically we have the formula for this symmetric key. So the formula is, that is, number of keys equal n minus 1 divided by 2. This is the formula of calculating the symmetric key. Please remember this. N means number of participants. Let's say you have 2 participants, then you can place n equal to, and then you can replace the value 2 and 2 minus 1, which is n divided by 2. 2 minus 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 2 into 1, which is 2, and 2 divided by 2 equal 1. So, which is 1
Ma'am,
symmetric key.
sorry. Hello? Yeah, sorry, ma'am. I
Are you seeing?
received a call. That's why I didn't listen this one. This number of keys, n, this one. Can you repeat, ma'am,
This
please?
is the formula of calculating the symmetric keys.
Okay.
Calculation of symmetric keys. Like how many keys is required while in how many participants. Let's say you have 2 participants here. Okay. Let's say you have 2 participants here, and for 2 participants you need 1 key. That is obvious. Okay, because same key you will use for like encryption and decryption. In the is asymmetric, you need 2 keys, like 2 pair of keys, like private key and public key, right? Then you have
Yeah, correct.
3, which is 3 participants. So for that you need 3 keys, and for the asymmetric you need 6 keys. Same as if you have the number of participants is 4, so you need 6 keys for asymmetric and 8 keys for like asymmetric for 8 and symmetric for 6. Let's say you have 5 participants, so for this you need 10 symmetric keys and 10 asymmetric keys. For the 100 participants, sorry, for the 10 participants, yeah, you need symmetric key 45 and you need 20 keys for asymmetric encryption. Okay, asymmetric. Let's say you have 100 participants. So for the 100 participants, you need 4950, which is 4950 that symmetric keys, and you need just 200 asymmetric keys. So you can see the like comparison here. Let me show you this one. For example, you have 100 participants, which is n equal 100. This is the formula of symmetric keys. Okay. Now n equal 100, and then you can replace the value. So if you have n like 100 participants in your group, so you have to generate 4,950 symmetric keys, and asymmetric keys you have to generate 200. Let's say you have 1,000 participants in your group. So you have to generate 499,500, which is like 49, and again 9,500, which is 49,900. No, again, it's 500, which is 100,000, 10,000, 10,000. Sorry, 100,000 keys for this symmetric, and this is the value of n here, and this is symmetric keys you need, and this is you need asymmetric key. So for that you need just 2,000 keys for asymmetric. Now here you can check the scalability. So scalability here is more in the asymmetric than in the symmetric, because here you can see for each and for the increasing number of users in your group, you need extra keys as compared to in the symmetric algorithm, and you can like calculate the formula for symmetric. You can just replace the value. Let's say 1,000. 1,000 is n, so you can just replace 1,000 here, and you can replace 1,000 here. Then you can calculate 1,000 minus 1, which is 999. 999 into 10,000 again, and then divided by 2. Let me using this calculator. So we have this formula, which is 1,000 minus which is 999. Okay, which is into 1,000. Okay, and divided by second. So this is number of symmetric keys you need. Okay, so this is the formula. It is not compulsory that you will get these kind of calculated like questions in the exam, but you can remember this formula, which is n, and here n is number of participants. Maybe it can come in the exam like for this number of participants, how many keys or how many symmetric and asymmetric keys you need. Okay, so this is just the formula for symmetric, and asymmetric is fine, double the number. Okay, that is 5, 10, 100, 20. Just double, keep on doubling the number. That is the formula for asymmetric keys. Okay, is it clear this much?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, then we have hashing algorithm. I think we have to continue this from tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Tomorrow is holiday, by the way, on account of 15 August. We will
Yeah.
continue day after tomorrow. Okay. I think
Yeah.
we
Okay.
need 2 more sessions for the cryptography, because cryptography is like the biggest part for the competition, like in the competition examination. So we have
Okay.
a lot of concepts are left. So we will continue on Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So if you have any doubt,
Okay.
you can just you can message, or you can just mail me anything. Okay, you can ping me anytime for any doubt.
Okay.
And yeah,
Okay.
please
Clear.
submit your answers on my mail.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.